What's going on, guys? Today I wanted to talk about the Detroit Pistons and what's going to happen with them on trade deadline. So I want to hear your thoughts down below. Allegedly, Jerami Grant, he loves Detroit and Detroit loves him. And he has 1 year after this season left, and they could sign him to that 4-year, $112 million extension if they'd like to. But obviously, they have the second worst record in the league, so they could get Jamari Smith Jr. or Banchero. Banchero would be great. So hopefully I said that. Is it Banchero or Banchero? Someone tell me how to say that name correctly. So would make Jerami Grant expendable. So the thing is Jerami Grant likes Detroit. Detroit likes Jerami Grant. And there have been teams that have reached out to him, including the Washington Wizards, the Sacramento Kings, the Portland Trailblazers, and the Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, it has been reported the Brooklyn Nets are very, very unlikely to trade for him. Right now, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you guys think Jerami Grant stays? And if he doesn't, who do you think trades for him? Besides that, I want to hear your thoughts on the rest of it. Look, there's a bunch of small deals that the Detroit Pistons can do. There's a possibility that they could, move Corey Joseph, who's having a great year and he's on a cheap contract and he has a player option next year. And, a contending team that needs a backup point guard would very much like a Corey Joseph. I know the Lakers would like Corey Joseph. Okay, they need a point guard. I even think the Washington Wizards would like Corey Joseph to help, give Spencer Dinwiddie some rest and, let Corey go out there. Because Corey can hit the three, can play some D and pass the ball. I've always liked Corey Joseph, especially when he was on the San Antonio Spurs. Then Rodney Mcgregor, he was paired with a second-round pick when they attempted to trade for Bol, and that was all avoided. So I wonder, and I know they've reached out to Jalen Smith of the Phoenix Suns to try to trade for him. I wonder if they proposed the same exact trade. And, Josh Jackson's on an expiring deal, and they really don't play him at all. And I know he's missed some time with injury, but he isn't anything what he was last year. So all those guys are possible to be traded by the deadline in 3 days. So, look, I don't see Detroit parting with any of their players that they drafted in 2020 or 2021 at this year's deadline. They love Cade Cunningham. He's obviously their franchise cornerstone. Saddiq Bey has really come into his own. He's fantastic. Isaiah Stewart is someone that the organization is developing and sees him as a part of their future. Killian Hayes, has been inquired about. He was the 7th pick, and he's moved to the bench because I've said this before. Luka Doncic and Dennis Smith Jr. couldn't coexist, even though they're best friends because they're both ball dominant. Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes, same idea. 2 ball dominant guards. One of them had to move the bench. We all knew it was going to be Killian. Now, he's shown improvements offensively and, as a primary ball handler, but I don't think teams have shown any interest in actually trading for Hayes. Troy's better off keeping him right now and trying to develop in-house rather than part way with guys in this season. So, the most likely to get traded on this team is Jerami Grant. As I previously mentioned, Grant's the biggest trade piece that Detroit has. He's the most valuable, and then Detroit has regularly been taking calls. Troy Weaver has talked with teams with playoff aspirations or even title contention, and they like him because he's a long athletic wing who can score at 3 levels, and, he looks like he could be your third. Really on a championship team, he's your third guy. On a team that wants to go to the playoffs, he's probably your second guy. And, so Jerami Grant's the most likely guy to get traded on this team. Now, guys who could get traded, but it's not highly likely, Josh Jackson, Rodney Mcgregor, and Corey Joseph. Okay, if the Pistons make some small deals before the deadline, these are the names that are mostly likely to get involved. Okay, Josh Jackson's deal's expiring, so he could be, moved for some team for that's trying to get off the financial cap, may just send a 2nd-round pick. Then you got Rodney Mcgregor, same thing. He could just be a throw-in on a deal, any deal. He's a guy who can play some defense at the occasional 3-point shot. And it's also possible that they buy him out, giving the veteran a chance to sign with a playoff team. And, Corey Joseph's had a steady season. He's shooting 40% from 3. And teams always tend to be looking for guards, point guards like Corey Joseph near the playoffs. So I really do think this is going to happen. Now, I saw one where it was Corey Joseph to the Corey Joseph from the Detroit Pistons to the Boston Celtics, and Bol and Dennis Schroeder from the Celtics to the Pistons. I don't know why I butchered that. Pistons get Schroeder and Bol. Celtics get Corey Joseph. And look, it would be hilarious if the Pistons ended up with Bol and just to see the Celtics turn around and trade it. However, this trade makes sense because for the Pistons, Joseph has a player option of roughly $5 million next year. Trading the veteran guard for Dennis Schroeder and Bol Bol, both of whom will hit free agency this year, will open up another $5 million in cap space for the Pistons. And, Blake Griffin's deal's finally off the books after this year. In addition, Schroeder and Weaver, the general manager, have a connection because he was the assistant general manager in Oklahoma City Thunder. Another deal that was proposed was Jerami Grant to the Grizzlies for Kyle Anderson and Jared Culver and a first-round pick. 2 first-round picks, actually. And, this would, really push them over the edge, I think. But that's the video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. Peace out.